push the clutch until we break something. We're also putting motors on the pit cart. This is a winch. We ready, Jack?
Good.
We're gonna be throwing this in the E46 wagon, and I'll probably push the clutch until we break something. My guess is the pedal sides are gonna break off. Just a note, this was designed using Fusion 360 generative design, specifically for aluminum, 3D printed. This is obviously not aluminum, so this is a significantly weaker material selection. So if I actually chose this material, PPA CF, and then used generative design, it would have been quite a bit larger. But here are the points I'm making. This is mostly for fitment checks: pin, bore, switch, spring, pedal, and stop. We're going to get this 3D printed out of aluminum, and that will be the actual product. So if this does break, I actually won't be surprised, but I'm quite interested because as far as stiffness, rigidity goes, like it is, I can flex the OEM clutch pedal like more by hand than this one. So this one is definitely stiffer, but printing has issues like layer bond and other things. People were saying you could have applied a resin coating similar to like what fiberglass and carbon fiber use, and that will really help with bonding it. I could really see how that would work, strengthening all the layers, especially on this side where the supports were. There's quite a bit of separation between some of the layers, and if you filled that in with resin, of course, it would be very strong. So could you actually use a 3D printed clutch pedal? Yes, and generative design would be perfect also because it would compensate everywhere due to the material's strength. So that's that. We're also putting motors on the pit cart. Now I know what you're gonna think. This is a winch, but it's a really affordable winch. And what I was looking for was all these different winches have planetary gears, and most of them have planetary gears on this side, but this one in particular has planetary gears on the motor side. So if I take this posts and bracket off, coupler and all of this, I might have access to a planetary gear reduction motor drive that I can then put a sprocket on, add a chain to it, laser cut a plate, and drive both of my front wheels. Now I want to drive my front wheels because as you turn the pit cart with the handle, the front wheel drive is going to pull the cart around, whereas if I drove the rear wheels, it's going to try and push the cart through the turned wheels, which is going to have less strength, force, impact, movement. Pulling is easier than pushing. It's always been the case. So if I can get these on with clearance, I'll simulate it. That's what we're going with. If I can't, then she's going on the rear. No problem. So what are we going to do in this video? 3D scan this, test that. I've got a couple other things going on the computer. We'll see where we end up. All right, let's take this thing apart, see what the heck's going on. As I said, I think this thing was 84 bucks. That's also Canadian. So we're talking 50 bucks US, something like that. The question is, does the spool need to be double shear, or can it be, oh, very interesting. Look at that. Okay, so I was wondering how that worked. So that's how you disengage the drive, simply like that. Oh, this little seal, this little cover is keeping it in there. So it definitely needs to be double shear, which is fine. I can make my own double shear sprocket of some kind. That comes off. It's like heat pressed on, so you gotta like pop the handle off in order to get this out. And then the drive spline is kind of built right into this pulley. So we're probably gonna have to use this pulley and unfortunately scrap the cable. Probably have to do some welding, cut ourselves a sprocket, weld it to this, and then reassemble it. But this is the planetary drive. We could probably water jet cut the same tooth if we wanted to make our own sprocket and drive. You could definitely like EDM something like that, but we could probably quality 5 water jet that gear because it doesn't actually turn against anything. It just grabs that. And then we might have to make our own mechanism of engaging and disengaging, like a lever of some kind, so that we can freewheel spin this. I've got some ideas in my brain. We'll have to design something up, but pretty exciting. I like it. So that's basically the planetary driven drive motor. Pretty awesome if you think about it. We'll make our own studs. I'm basically scrapping this now that I'm looking at it. It's crazy that you would throw that out, but you could never buy this as a unit, I've looked. And if you could, it'd be like 180 bucks. Yet if you buy it with the cable and all the parts, it's a fraction of the price. It's like buying the parts for the pressure washer or just buying a new pressure washer.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to just buy a new one. That's crazy, but that's the way it is. So if anything ever went wrong, hop onto there, grab another one. Turn it this way, I need some light. The idea would be, we'll probably have to take the front brakes off, unfortunately. But the idea would be it would drive like this, and then hopefully avoiding everything else. Luckily, just by chance, I made the members pretty far inset. Didn't plan on this when I designed this kart, but thankfully I should be able to replace the brake caliper plate with a driven adapter plate that bolts onto the bearing and then gives us a drive plate. And then I will redesign the rotor and basically convert the rotor into a sprocket. And we're gonna drive a 14 tooth and then a 44 tooth sprocket that will laser cut. And that's the whole idea behind this, but I do want it to be able to disengage, if at all possible, easily also from like the front side of the cart. You know, it would be really cool if you used like a clutch slave. I actually bought cheap ones to do some other mechanisms. You can get some for, I forget what car, but it's like $14. It's a hydraulic clutch slave. So as long as you have a master like we do here, you could actually like disengage it using hydraulic pressure rather than some kind of mechanical lever. You can just like push our sprocket over, out, and then it's freewheel, and then release the pressure and it drives. I'll get Alex to scan this, but pretty awesome. I'm excited. This is cool, right?
Yeah. Did I drop from here to see if it's good? Uh-oh. We need more angle.
Okay.
Let me tell you the coolest part about this scanner right here. In case you were wondering how hot it is outside, 31 degrees. That's how hot it is. In case you were wondering, it's 31 degrees.
I was curious.
Your scanner tells you that. All you gotta do is click this button. Look at that. You can see it scanning. Beautiful. So user-friendly. Another really nice feature about this thing is you don't need targets. I could scan this without targets. Obviously, targets make it a little easier for the scanner itself, so might as well throw them on if you got them. So there's this super cool feature where, see on the top left there, it zooms in for you. And you can get real meticulous. Go around all this stuff. Ooh. And you can pretty much get extremely carried away in here, but we have a post processor that does this for us as well. And then you go invert selection. It's pretty cool software. And then watch how fast this is too. We go complete, confirm. It'll take like 2 minutes, but that's fast. Mesh smoothness, max it, fill markers, watertight, apply. It's pretty quick, but it does take a minute. Like, what do you expect? You just press one more button and it ships it right to your computer. Or you can do USB-C connection and just transfer all the files with the cable. Super simple.
Oh, what's what I? Oh, there you go.
All right, we don't have time. All right, let's see if we can get this clutch pedal in. Basically gonna do this through this vent. Oh, you see where that went?
Probably in the hole of the heel pipe.
Is that it? Yeah. Where'd that go? Oh. Same problem? We're gonna have to fix that. Don't tell me. Don't tell me that. The stupid bracket's in the way? I might just break it off of the other pedal so that it goes on. It certainly does not serve any testing purposes. Okay. So basically transfer the bushings to here. I haven't actually fit the pin. I did fit it in the PLA printed pedal, but not this one. So the OEM plastic pins go on. Slap this on. Oh, that looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, question. Okay, it goes up, 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 up. Yep. Uh-oh, I should have checked this. Yeah, she's a little snug. Boy, if I could see this, oh, there. Wow, now I can see. I mean, it is in there. It just didn't click, so that's okay. Spring is on. Okay, Jack. Wow. Honestly, it feels solid. How's the wiggle factor? About the same as stock, so to be expected. Remember all the load cases I applied on either side vertically, adding pressure points where all the pressure would be, pivots where there's pivots. I mean, you could really go out and use this right away. Like Joel was saying, he wants to see kicks like that. I mean, that's harder than you'll ever.
Yeah.
It's harder than you'll ever do in a real car. I should almost put a motor on it with a cam that just sits here and just pushes it and cycle RPM. It's pretty awesome. I mean, to be honest with you, I want to put it in a setup where those two pins are fixed, like almost two pegs welded to a table, and then we force test it and break it. This is pretty awesome. 3D printed. Fully 3D printed. Now, I could have, like I said earlier, done an actual, I might actually just do it. I'll run another study, but change the material to this material or something similar. And it'll definitely add material versus what should have been aluminum. But the fitment's great. The only thing I didn't really like is the spring just barely touches the actual body of the pedal. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but basically we're running the stock pin and the stock bushings on the top, which I don't really see a reason to replace those. I've seen some pedals put brass bushings on it and they run like a different clevis or something, but I honestly don't see a reason to do that for this application anyways. Really awesome. Like, it doesn't feel at all flimsy or anything. I wouldn't say this is an improvement over the stock one. I wouldn't give it that much. But it also has this M8 threaded hole on the back that's right here that was designed to take a bolt so that you can set your limit at a different spot like this on the actual firewall clutch top. So you could adjust it there with a bolt, and it's really solid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know that looks like a lot of flex, but that's really what the OEM one does too. And being plastic or PPACF, and the pivot is way up here. That's pretty impressive, right? Obviously, if you 3D printed this from aluminum, it'd be significantly stiffer. I would say the clutch force on this is probably somewhere between, it's probably about 60 pounds. I'm curious just to see where, if it did, where it would, sort of thing. Something that you'll only see from cycles. Now, it's interesting when you talk about pedals like this is anywhere from 20 to 30 years old. And cycles, it's obviously seen 100,000 plus, however many K this car had on it. Probably in the millions of cycles for this. So this pedal's not gonna outperform this one. You know what? Let's just, if Mike's driving this, we'll just leave this in the car. We'll say, Mike, here's your new pedal. Give her a shot. If she breaks on you, it's totally fine. You have another one. We did get the pricing back for the pedal printed from aluminum. Pretty competitive, to be honest. I'm quite happy with what it would cost. And yes, if you mass produce this, you could get better margins being machined. But the fact that you could order 5 or 25 and it'd be the same price, lead time, amount of work, etc. It's pretty cool. Additive manufacturing is definitely getting somewhere. So now that we've confirmed all the fitment, I'm going to send this over to some guys that I have followed on Instagram. We'll definitely, you know what? I'll shout them out now just in case they do take on this project. Internet's real bad, but Evology, MFG, I've talked to them on and off about various 3D metal printing projects. This one is a good use case for them to try. They've done a lot of really cool things with 3D printing metal. Cool company, followed them for a while. This is hopefully who's going to print the pedal. So there's a couple parameters that are required for them to be able to do it, if they have a machine big enough, I hope. So that'll be the next update, but real happy with this. PLA would have folded for sure, but this one feels real solid. On to the next thing. Looks promising. The mechanism looks like this. My concept would be water jetting a sprocket that has this internal gear. We can engage it with the drive of the planetary gear. We did all the math. It's 166 planetary gear reduction, so the winch only turns at 20 RPM. We would want the tire to turn at 20 to 40 RPM. So basically it's asking for a 1-to-1 chain ratio. So looking at what fits, putting something together, basically I'm just gonna get the model from Shining 3D's scan software into Fusion, which I've already done. I got in just a centering ring and then the mounting holes so that I can set this up in the pick cart and basically see where it fits. I will tell you, rear wheel drive would be easier. That's for sure. Front would perform better. So what are we looking for? That's where we're at. These are the mechanisms. I would really like if it could continue to be disengaged as well, so that if we lose the battery or something's not working, we can freewheel it and still hand pull the pick cart around. That's where we're at with this whole thing. Just wanted to do some checks. It's always good to print the part overnight, so when you wake up, you get to see that there should be 2 holes here where these screws are. And you know, sometimes you just miss stuff like that in a scan. Now the metal part's gonna have those holes and I don't have to like hand drill them. The goal here was to verify the process, basically. This is the machined part that Dylan's gonna make, chromoly. That's gonna be water jet cut. And then we're gonna put it in our manual lathe and just bore this step with our boring bar, easy. Then we're gonna weld that on there. The outer diameter is specific as it registers on the inner collar. This inner collar is actually what takes all of the load from the forces of being applied. And then we're actually using the same gear that slides in and out, and we'll put the spring inside of this as well, and we'll have the pull rod. So when this goes together, that's going to be on there. I didn't print the faceplate, but basically this would go on like that. This piece would be welded to a double shear part, and it'll slide in here. These 2 bolts there will bolt into the bottom, and then this piece will bolt here. I gotta machine these a bit shorter, and then that piece will register there. We'll have a gear on here. This whole thing will drive the wheel bearing, which is there. Right? Follow? Okay, cool. So I'm going on a kids field trip, so I'm gone. We're gonna have to do this next week.
Yeah. Minion.